Hey projectors, Bangs here again. Today's project is trimming this door so that it fits now that the carpet's been laid. We've finally got this nice, new, beautiful carpeting, which is fantastic. However, with the carpet and the underlay and all that type of stuff, the door doesn't fit back on. So what you can see here is that the door is too high by about 8 millimeters. The door's resting on the carpet at the moment and it's just sitting there leaned against the jamb. Now, you can see here that the door is too high by almost 10 millimeters onto the carpet, probably about 8, 10, and I say we need 5 mil under the door. So we're going to take 15 millimeters. We're going to take 15 millimeters off the bottom of this door. We'll rip up to the shed with the door and I'll show you my way of taking the 15 mil off the bottom of the door. So a couple of sawhorses set up here with cloths on to protect the door. I'm going to cut with the side of the door that lives inside of the cupboard or the walk-in robe, because the saw blade is going to cut up as it's going. Right, so it cuts this way. So any chips that come, if they do, which I'll show you in a minute a solution to get rid of that, any chips that come on that side of the cut, that's going to be on the side that you won't see, the non-dress side. So here we go. So first thing we're going to do is make sure we've got the bottom of the door. You wouldn't believe it, but I've done this before. I've got it all the way out and I've taken a little bit off the top of the door, which is classic. So make sure you got the bottom of the door, and we're going to tape the bottom. We're going to tape where the cut line is and tape where the saw is going to run on the door to protect it. The tape will help stop splinters of the timber when the saw comes through, and then the rest of the tape will help protect the door from the saw blade going across it. Make sure you use a painter's tape. If you use masking tape, you can get a bit aggressive, and when you go to take it off, it'll take the paint with it. So we're going to tape the end of the door where the cut's going to go. That's the most important one. We're going to smooth that right out, and then the rest are literally just going to be to protect the door from the circular saw. There we go. So we're all taped up and we're going to cut it using the circular saw. Now you can see here there's a whole heap of business on this side of my saw, right? And I'm left-handed and this is the way I prefer to do it. So I'm going to set, I know the distance on this saw from the edge of this guard to the tip of the blades is 38 millimeters. And I'm going to set up I'm going to get my level and clamp it to the door and use that as a guide, and we'll get a nice straight cut. The tip of that tooth to the outside of that guard is 38 mil. That's what we're going to set it. We're going to set it 38 plus 15, which is what we need to take off the door. 38 plus the 15 we want to take off the door is how much, Lawson? 53. So that's where we're going to set our guard. All right, we'll just measure that out a little bit. Setting that where that is. Bit of a punisher here in the shadow. Righto, Spud, show us that one. Yep, beautiful. Right, measure twice, cut once. Got a fresh battery and a nice new blade, so we're going to get a nice even cut. And you'll see there, because the blade comes upwards, right, this is where the chips are going to be, but we've got the tape on here. Okay, here we go. I've got the saw just gently up against the straight edge here, and I'm keeping it level. Another thing to check before you get started is that your blade is square with the deck of your saw. Okay, we're ready. So there you go. Right, take that off. Take this off. Oh, she dusty. Oh, that was a nice clean cut. We'll take this tape off. That's going to need almost no touching up. That was a nice new blade, and that was a great saw cut. All right, quick sand with a bit of 240. I'm not stressed out about sanding the bottom too much. I just want to get this, edge nice. So I'm not too, that's beautiful. You run your hand on that, it's nice. You don't really want to do too much, but you really want it, you got to take that sharp edge off, knock the corners off a little bit. Excellent. Quick coat of paint. You must seal the bottom of your doors, otherwise it'll soak up moisture and it'll warp your door, plus it'll void the warranty. So we cut the bottom off the door, we're ready to put it back on its hinges. A tip for putting your door back on the hinges, when it's too low now, which we want, because when we raise it up it's going to be 5 mil off the ground for swinging room, measure the distance of how low the door is now. Then pack the door up with something of a similar height. And you'll see now the door is sitting exactly where it needs to be to put the screws in. Put a couple of screws in. And then wiggle your chocks out. Bob's your uncle, Fenny's your aunt, and Robert's your dad's brother. Don't forget to like and subscribe.